24. Nathan. When I woke up this morning, picking Stassi and Russ up from a cute little coffee shop date seemed about as likely as me becoming a figure skater. Yet here I am. It takes 30 seconds for the panic to set in. The little line between her eyebrows appears like it does every time she's deep in thought. "I can be hard work, Nate," she blurts out with a shaky voice. "I know you think Aaron walks all over me, but he doesn't. Sometimes we full-on argue in the middle of the rink." Reaching toward her, I tuck her hair behind her ear, cupping her cheek gently. "Why are you telling me your hard work like I don't already know?" The line deepens, but a small laugh slips out. For me, Monday started great, went shitty, and now it sort of seems to be ending great. I don't know where my offer came from. I think I've just reached my limit of seeing her upset. I'm not convinced I'll be any good, but I won't drop her, and that's what she needs. "You don't understand what you're signing yourself up for?" She nuzzles into my hand and lets out a sigh. "What if you can't stand me when we're done?" "Anastasia, me not liking you in 8 weeks is not a concern you need to have. But just know if I'm ever down a guy, I'll be expecting you to step up to play hockey. I think your hostility would be a great addition to the team." I manage to catch the arm that flings in my direction and give it a gentle tug until Stas is climbing over the console to straddle my lap. "When you get out of this car, we're partners, and I'm not going to be able to touch you until January. If I'd known this morning would be the last time I could kiss you, I'd have done it better." "One last kiss?" "You can't be serious." "Of course I'm serious. If you hadn't been drinking, I'd be asking to fuck you in the back seat, so a kiss is mild." Rolling her eyes, she leans in, stopping an inch from my lips. "Your charm is endless, Hawkins." Sinking my hands into her hair, I kiss her with everything I've got. It's a weird moment where it feels like both the start and end of something, and when her hips roll against me, I don't know whether to cry or rejoice. "I'm still allowed to think about you when I jerk off, right?" I ask quickly as she moves back to climb out of the car. "Or is that against the rules?" "Please don't be against the rules." She actually snorts, like a little piglet. "I'm fair game if you're fair game. You're my go-to. Deal?" Fuck my life. I nod, unable to speak while my brain paints a very inappropriate image. The next 8 weeks are going to be hell. By the time I reach home, everyone already knows what is happening because Stassi has texted Lola. I called Faulkner from the car. He said he thinks it will work in my favor reputation-wise, and he will design me a regime to stay fit. Figure skating will help contribute to my ice time, so I think he might be pleased with my plan. Only think, not know, because then he called me the most bizarre kid he's ever had to tolerate and told me to enjoy wearing leggings. Lo has all the guys around the table in the den, folding pamphlets for the Theater Society's rendition of Hamilton. It makes it easier to tell everyone the whole story simultaneously, but it makes the laughter at my expense 10 times louder. "Since you're so good at helping other people with their stuff, take a seat." She hands me a huge pile of papers to fold and points to the chair beside Maddie. "Can't wait to see your ass in tights, Hawkins." "I'm more worried about him getting a boner," Henry adds, concentrating on getting his pamphlet edges straight. "He's like a horny little dog around Stassi." "Gee, thanks." "Nah, there will be no funny business. She wants to make sure she's not distracted. Just friends." The laughing starts again. I imagine there's going to be a lot of laughing at my expense for the next 2 months. The first discovery of this little figure skating experience is that my Tuesday class schedule aligns with Anastasia's, and we both finish at 2 p.m. We're both supposed to be studying, but we've just arrived at Maple Hills Mall. You know in a movie when there's a red button but nobody is allowed to touch it and you scream at the TV when someone inevitably does? Anastasia is my red button. I know I shouldn't touch her, but I want to, and she'll scream at me if I do. She looks so pretty right now, passionately explaining the importance of skating in the right outfit. "Stop staring at my lips and pay attention," she drawls. I am paying attention. I still don't see why I can't wear sweatpants. "You just can't, okay? We're buying leggings." So pretty. Yes, ma'am. The first store doesn't have anything for men, the second doesn't have anything that goes over my thighs, but the third is perfect. What about these? She asks, holding up a pair in my size. They're leopard print, Anastasia. I can see that. What about them? Quirking my eyebrow, I lean against the rack. I mean, is them being leopard print not enough of an answer? Why don't we rule out all animal print to save time? As she's about to argue, we're interrupted by my ringing phone. Dad. Reject. Putting my phone back in my pocket, she holds up another pair when I look at her. So that's a no on the zebra print? Correct. Are you absolutely sure? These will make your thighs look great. If you want to see my thighs, I'll skate in my Calvins. Problem solved. Food? She doesn't even bother responding. I'll take that as a no then. Searching through a sea of black, non-animal print options, I find a handful in my size. She's all grumbles and scowls as I pay for my boring outfits, and we exit the store. I reach for her hand, immediately stopping myself and styling it into a stretch. Walking in silence toward the food court, I can see something bothering her by the unsettled look on her face. Just as I'm about to ask her, my phone rings again. Dad, reject. We grab a table away from other people where it's quieter, and she still has the same look. What's on your mind, Grumpy? The NHL. Unexpected. I'm all for diversity in sports, Das, but I think you're a bit small to be a hockey player, I tease. Why are you thinking about the NHL? I'm just thinking about how peaceful my senior year will be since you're going to Canada to fight moose or whatever. She shrugs and forces a smile. It's silly. Forget it. I'm impressed you think I can fight a moose, but I'm not sure they tend to frequent downtown Vancouver. I laugh. I'm not sure you know this, but there are flights to Vancouver from LA, if you ever wanted to disturb your peace a little and visit. She's about to answer, and my fucking phone starts ringing again. Dad again. I reject it again. She drags a hand through her hair and sighs. You can answer your phone in front of me. I know. I'm not going to freak out if you have a conversation with another girl. She puts her elbows on the table and rests her head against her hands. Just because you can't fuck me doesn't mean you can't fuck anyone. Rolling my eyes, I push my phone across the table. 3993. Immediately shaking her head, she tries to push the phone back to me. Nathan, I don't need— I type the numbers myself, since she apparently wants to respect my privacy. I watch her fight herself before her eyes finally look at my phone screen, and she sees the word Dad littering my call log over and over. It's complicated. Oh, okay, well, she splutters. I do mean it, by the way, like, I don't expect you to be celibate for 2 months. Snorting, I watch her eyes widen, uncertain. We're going to be spending so much time together, Anastasia. I'm about to cockblock you at every available opportunity. You can do what you want, obviously, but good luck trying to fuck someone that's not me. Her eyes brighten, heat flushing her cheeks instantly. Is that supposed to be endearing? Feels a little possessive and toxic. The corner of my mouth tugs up, loving that this is my day now. Don't give me that shit. I've seen what you have on your smutty bookshelf. Her mouth falls open. Now what do you want to eat? I'm good. I'll eat when I get home, but you get whatever. You got something against eating out? No, but I need to stick to my diet. Diet? It's clear to anyone who spends time with Anastasia that she has a complicated relationship with food. I swear half the time her bad moods are because she's hungry. Aaron and I have a food plan. I do the food prep and stuff through the week. We have to be organized with it. It's cool you're so disciplined, I say carefully. Nutrition is part of my course, so I do a lot on this kind of stuff. I'd love to look at your food plan if you're cool with that. Reaching into her bag, she pulls out my enemy, her planner. She flicks through the pages until she finds a piece of paper, handing it to me. Knock yourself out. Oh, fuck. Vegetables, a small amount of protein, vegetables. I get my phone and bring up the calculator, roughly working out the numbers. Who designed this meal plan? Aaron. The answer is an unsurprising, yet still disappointing one. For once, I'm speechless. My feelings about Aaron Carlisle are understandably not great, and I feel like I've earned that. But this is fucking weird. He either has no idea what he's doing when it comes to nutrition, or does this on purpose. Anastasia, you are massively undereating. You're not eating enough, not even close. I'm trying not to seem like I'm telling her off or belittling her. This isn't her fault. She takes the paper back, running her eyes across the page. What do you mean? Your body burns calories just by you being alive, so you need to fuel your body to live. Someone who burns as many calories as you do through skating and strength training needs to eat even more to make sure your muscles recover. I'm fine. Not eating enough makes you more prone to injury and serious health problems. Have you always bruised as badly as you do now? Her mind must be going a mile a minute. She's frozen on the spot, clearly trying to take in what I'm saying. Maybe? I don't know. I noticed a while ago she's always covered in bruises. I put it down to falls and stuff, but now I've seen them close, I know how bad they are. Bruising badly can be a sign of nutrient deficiency. Are you tired a lot? Anxious? Irritable for no reason? Changes to your menstrual cycle? Jesus Christ, Nate, she fumes, looking around us to make sure no one is listening. She lowers her voice. I'm tired, anxious, and irritable because I work hard. Surely you know better than anyone that it comes with the job. Stas. And as far as my menstrual cycle is concerned, which is none of your fucking business, I'm on birth control that fully stops it. I haven't had one in years. She folds her arms across her chest and sits back in her seat. Defiance, annoyance, a sliver of uncertainty. It isn't my intention to upset her, but I'm also not going to let her eat like this. There are hardly any carbs in this plan. So? You need carbs, Stasi. I'm not asking you to fill yourself on junk food, but you need to eat more calories, baby. I can write you a new plan. We'll give them both to Brady and see which she prefers. Fine, she shrugs. Whatever. Did Ryan look at your meal plan? Her eyebrows furrow together. What? No, why? Thinking back to the video call a month ago, I've been meaning to bring up what Ryan said, but haven't had a chance after everything that's happened. Ryan said once that Aaron was trying to control what you ate. She rolls her eyes. Ignore Ryan. He'd make me eat KFC every night, which is not realistic. I don't have his superhuman metabolism. Aaron says he struggles to lift me sometimes. It makes Ryan cranky. What the fuck? He said he struggles to lift you? If I don't stick to the plan, yeah. Sometimes my weight fluctuates a little. Dragging my hand down my face, I suppress the anger brewing. The arena sharing situation doesn't mean only the rink, it also means the gym. I've seen Aaron comfortably lift twice Anastasia's weight. He might not be a big guy, but he is strong. He's fucking unhinged, Stas. You're being dramatic. I don't want to argue about this because it's not your fault, but the guy is controlling you, and showing this to Brady will prove it. She huffs, rubbing her temples with her eyes closed. You're giving me a headache. It's because I care. Can you care in a way that isn't going to cause me tons of problems? We'll sort it together. I promise. Reaching across the table, her hand lands on top of mine, and she squeezes it. I'm going to get us some food. I'll be back. I try not to focus on the crack in her voice when she says it.
25. Anastasia. What's taking so long? I can hear him stomping around on the other side of the locker room door, but he hasn't materialized yet. It's our first session, and we're going to be getting on the ice late, which doesn't bode well for the next 2 months, or for Nathan retaining his life. Nathan! I yell, banging on the door. I can't come out. I'm scowling at the door, knowing I look ridiculous, but I can't scowl at him since he won't come out. Why? The leggings. They're too tight. You can see everything. If you don't come out, I'm coming in. His head pops out, body shielded by the door. I'm being serious. They're, you can see everything. Yes, we all get it. You've got a big dick, blah, blah, blah. Ego fed? We're late. Come on, let's get started. Brady approaches as Nate pulls back the door, wearing what are quite possibly the most revealing leggings I've ever seen. They look like they've been painted on, and you can see outlines. Very, very detailed outlines. Oh my God. Brady surveys him head to toe, then once more for good measure. Her hand lands on her hips, and she shakes her head. "I'm sorry, Mr. Hawkins, but I cannot let you wear those." Nate looks like a rabbit in headlights, hiding behind the door again. "Do you have anything else with you?" "I have shorts in my locker I could put on over the top." "I think that would be a wise choice." Nate disappears back into the locker room, and I feel Coach hovering behind me. Turning to face her, she shakes her head. "It's a slippery slope, Anastasia." "Don't know what you're talking about." Lie. Big lie. Huge lie. "Should I get warmed up?" "Use protection. Ask Prishy. Your bladder is never the same." "We aren't She interrupts me with a flippant wave of her hand. "We're both adults. Don't insult my intelligence. I see how that man looks at you. I want to see my best skater on a podium, not a birthing ball. Clear?" "Couldn't be clearer, Coach." What she didn't consider with her little speech is the probability of her best skater dying of embarrassment. And why does she only call me her best skater when I don't have witnesses? Finally emerging from the locker room, Nate lightly nudges me in the ribs. "You ready to do this, Alan?" "Nope. Don't crash into me." "No crashing into you. No birthing balls. So many rules, Anastasia." My eyes widen as I look up to meet his smug grin smiling down at me. His happiness is a comfort, and it's proof he isn't feeling nervous like I am. Proof that he doesn't realize that if this little experiment fails, I might finally break. I'm lost in my thoughts when fingers weave through mine. "It's going to be okay," he whispers as we approach the warm-up area. "It might even be fun." I tut loudly. "If it's fun, you're not working hard enough." He laughs, earning a hiss from Brady. "Spoken like a true tyrant." After warming up, it's finally time to find out if this was a horrible idea. "If this is going to work, I need you to remember the routine, Nathan." Coach tightens her faux fur, wrapping her arms around herself tightly. It never occurred to me that it might not be me that Nate can't cope with. "I'm not sure what shenanigans Coach Faulkner lets you get away with, but you do what I tell you in my arena." He nods. His smug grin from earlier is a distant memory. "Got it. Both of you, give me a lap." She concentrates on Nate. "Concentrate on being graceful. Not fast, but keep up with Stassi." "Graceful, slow." "Got it. Ow! Why do you always pinch me?" He groans, rubbing his stomach. "I am not slow. I've already proven I'm faster than you are once. Do I need to do it again?" Nate's mouth opens, but before he can fire back, Brady claps her hands. "What part of graceful made you two think I want to watch a race? Do as I ask. Now." Setting off, Nate manages to keep pace. When we're far enough away to feel safe, he moves closer. "What's with the clapping?" It's fun having other people experience Brady's antics for the first time. After over 2 years of working with her, I don't even notice anymore. I like to imagine she was a dog trainer in a past life. We make it back to where we started, and I recognize Coach's distaste immediately. It's very easy to recognize something you see 6 days a week. Poor Nate looks pleased with himself, and to his credit, he did match my pace. "How's that?" He grins. She kisses her teeth. Like a drunk deer, misguidedly stepping onto a frozen lake. "Do they have a lot of drunk deer in Montana, Coach?" I ask, remembering to say Montana and not Russia at the last second. "Do not sass me, Anastasia. The pair of you do it again. Gracefully." I've done more laps than leaps before Brady is finally satisfied with Nate's version of graceful. "Much better, Nathan. You're not playing hockey now. Nobody is going to attack you on the ice." Respectfully, coach? His eyes flick to me quickly. I don't think you can promise me that. Once we get into the swing of things, I'm thoroughly enjoying my training session for the first time in forever. And I think Brady might be too. Moving to the center of the ice, I move to Nate's side to introduce the simpler jumps. He doesn't need to do anything complex to help me, but ensuring he's in the right spot and facing the right direction is essential when I do the real technical part. More than anything, I need him to recognize the names of things so he knows what I'm doing and doesn't accidentally get in my way. I'm going to make it easy for you. Just pay attention to my feet. Stassi, he drawls, I'm pretty sure I skated before I walked. You don't need to make it easy for me. I probably know far more than you expect me to. Arrogance, my favorite thing to deal with. Okay, Brainiac. What edge do you take off from when you're doing a Lutz? He moves in front of me, and I can see on his face that he hasn't got a clue. Joke's on you. You've proved you need to shut up and listen to me. Joke's on you, he scoffs. I don't even know what a Lutz is. You are the most annoying man I've ever met. I don't care what you call me, as long as I'm top of the list. How the hell am I supposed to get through this 6 days a week? Even when he's annoying, I still want to jump his bones. The long-sleeved t-shirt we bought earlier is clinging to every muscle. His cheeks are flushed, and every time he looks at me and the corner of his mouth tugs up, I forget every thought. I've been totally and utterly unhinged by a man. I'm disgusted with myself for being distracted, for knowingly letting every slither of feminism shrivel up and die over dimples and thick thighs. Why do you look like you're having a crisis? Because I am. Pay attention. I'm not explaining this again. Hey, I'm not the one daydreaming. There are 6 types of jumps in figure skating. Toe loop, flip, Lutz, sow-cow, loop, and axel. They fall under 2 categories, which are toe jumps and edge jumps. Can you guess what toe jumps are? Is it jumps that use this useless fucking pick thing? The only thing Nate's been unhappy about is his new skates. Unlike his hockey skates, the skates we use have toe picks. We did a quick practice skate at Simone's after we finished at the mall, and I lost track of how many times he went flying. Not to mention that breaking in new skates can fucking suck. It isn't useless. You're going to need it. But yeah, you take off by hitting the ice with the useless fucking pick thing. Edge jumps take off from the inner or outer edge. Simple, right? He grunts something that roughly resembles yes, closely watching my feet as I turn, stretching my left leg back and striking the pick against the ice. Single toe loop. Replicating my movements and, to his credit, getting it reasonably accurate, with the exception of his wobbly landing, we move on. What move were you doing when you bowling balled a couple of weeks ago? He asks, standing and brushing the ice from his ass. I was trying to do a quadruple Lutz. Trying being the operative word. Lutz is a toe jump. It looked hard. It is hard. I sense you don't want to talk about this. There's nothing to say. I sigh. Brady made us take it out after I hit my head. It's not common in women's figure skating and virtually unheard of in pairs. She felt it was an unnecessary risk. So why do it? He isn't being rude. I think he's genuinely interested. I'm only trying to understand your mentality, Stas, not make you feel bad. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like a topic for therapy, not part of an impromptu chat in the middle of a training session, but I owe him honesty. I wasted years skating with someone who couldn't match my skill because he was my boyfriend. Classic. Don't get me wrong, we were very good, we just weren't great. With a different partner, I might have achieved more. I don't want to be that for Aaron. And Aaron can do it, right? Of course he can. I snort. He spent hours and hours trying to help me nail it, even though he never thought I'd be able to. There's a reason it's not common, but I'm stubborn. I'll keep trying, but it's not going to be this season. I like how determined you are, he says softly. If you two want to look lovingly at each other, do it on your own time, Coach shouts across the rink, reminding us both we're supposed to be skating, not sharing. He sighs heavily, putting his hands on his hips. She scares the shit out of me. What's with the coat? Does she know we're in California? Her aesthetic is Cruella de Vil. You'll get used to it. Nathan groans and winces loudly as we climb into his car. You're so dramatic, I laugh, throwing my bag at my feet. It wasn't that bad. I'm not built for ballet and yoga, Stas, he mumbles, putting the car into reverse. My legs are on fire. You're not bendy at all, are you? It was like watching a tree trunk. Looking over from the driver's seat, his eyebrow quirks. I don't need to be bendy because you're bendy, which makes us perfectly matched. You did good, Nathan. Seriously, I'm grateful. Thank you. I spent half the time on my knees or face planting. I've never concentrated as hard as I did doing those fucking laps. I was terrified I was going to trip. Are you sure I can't wear my own skates? I promise you'll get used to them. Or you'll get used to seeing me on my knees. He frowns. Not like that. Or like that, if you want. That way is my preference. A day, I huff. You lasted a day. Nate keeps me laughing all the way back to my apartment, mainly at his expense, but it still counts. Climbing out of the car and grabbing my bag, I lean in. See you in the morning. Bring coffee, he yells as I close the door. I've secretly been dreading coming home, and now that I'm watching the elevator numbers rise, I wish I were anywhere but here. I haven't told Nathan, but Aaron has been ignoring me since I told him about my new skating arrangement when I got home last night. If that wasn't enough, what Nathan said about my meal plan has been playing on my mind since this afternoon. Blame where it's due, I've never shown any interest in learning about nutrition. When I lived at home, my mom dealt with it, and at college, I let Aaron deal with it and trusted he knew what he was doing. I know Lola is at rehearsals, which means Aaron should be alone, hopefully giving me the perfect opportunity to talk to him. Emphasis on hopefully. Letting myself into the apartment, I immediately spot him on the living room couch, watching a movie. Hey. He turns his head, looking at me, but doesn't respond. I swallow the lump forming and wipe my sweating palms against my stomach as I approach him. Can we talk? Again, he doesn't respond, but he pauses his movie and looks at me when I sit on the couch, dropping my gym bag at my feet. I was just wondering, do you think my meal plan has enough calories and is like, I don't know, varied enough and stuff for me to be healthy? Why the fuck are you asking me that? He snaps. Taking a deep breath, I shrug. It just came up today, and it was sort of suggested that I'm under-eating. I wanted to run it by you so we could... Suggested by who? Hawkins? The way he says Nathan's name is borderline poisonous. You suck his dick a couple of times, and suddenly he knows what you need better than I do? His words knock the wind out of me. I splutter and choke on what I want to say, surprised. Astounded is a better word for what I'm feeling right now. As that feeling dissipates, the hurt sets in. What? No. Why are you being so mean? I only wanted to check with you so we could... Interrupting me again, he stands from the couch, dragging a hand down his face. You know what, Anastasia? Fuck off. If Nate Hawkins is so fucking smart, go rely on him for everything. His hands are shaking, eyes burning into me. But when he gets bored of you, Don't come crying to me because you're the one who drops your panties for anyone in a jersey. My heart bangs in my chest as he storms toward his room, slamming the door so harshly it's like the whole building shakes. Sinking to the couch, I reach into my bag, pulling out my phone. "Miss me already?" He laughs when the call connects. Wiping the tears away with the back of my hand, I clear my throat. "Can you pick me up?"
26. Nathan. Pinch of salt. No, a pinch, Robbie, that isn't a pinch. Anastasia takes a deep breath, forcing a smile as she fishes out the mountain of salt Robbie just added. My bad, he mumbles, taking a real pinch this time. It's okay. Sorry for shouting. Stassi is teaching Rob how to cook. Actually, attempting to teach is slightly more accurate. I bet Stas $10 she'd lose her cool with him before the pan was hot. She claimed it would be easy, but I think he's sweating from the stress, and every time she's about to say something, her eyes flick to me first, and she says it calmly. You've got to let it all get to know each other in the pot, Stassi explains semi-patiently. But you can't let it burn. No burning, friends in the pot. Got it. Walking around the counter, Stassi slides into the seat beside where I'm working, reaches for her textbook, and resumes studying. Weirdly, now I'm forced to bow to the planner, I'm on top of all my schoolwork for the first time since I started at Maple Hills. We train together, brush our teeth side by side, and cook the same meals. I have no clue what we are, but I like it. We've taken playing house to the next level. She doesn't say anything about my $10 as she sits next to me, concentrating on her work. She just lets her leg gently rest against mine. This is where I'm at right now, grateful for leg touching. Having her here all the time but not being able to touch her has been difficult, continues to be difficult, and will likely only increase in fucking difficulty. It's been 2 weeks since Erin reacted in the most Erin way possible by swearing at her and insinuating she's a slut. She was a wreck when I picked her up that day, sobbing as she stood outside her building clutching an overnight bag. Promising it would only be one night, we built a pillow barricade to respect our agreement not to overstep our friendship. That was 2 weeks ago, and I'm still sleeping on the other side of the pillow barricade. On the bright side, we're getting to know each other properly. When we're lying on either side of our barricade at night, we talk about anything and everything until one of us falls asleep first. It's always her. I'll never get tired of hearing her talk about herself. In a weird, twisted way, I'm glad. If things were different, I'd have spent the past 2 weeks buried inside her instead of getting to learn what makes her tick. We'd have achieved nothing. I might have even dropped out of college to stay home and find out exactly how many ways there are to make her scream my name. But I can't think about it because we're friends now, and the only time she screams my name these days is on the ice. Stassi? Robbie calls. I think they're buddies now. What do I do? Hopping off her stool, her fingers trail across the bottom of my back as she walks past, sending a jolt up my spine. She looks at the dish, nodding proudly. Looks good. Nailed it. What are we having, chef? I ask her playfully, closing over my textbook, officially bored. My calculations were correct, and she was undereating by following Erin's plan. It's one of the only times in my life I've hated being right. Brady approved the plan I designed, perplexed why Anastasia would ever eat so little in the first place. Stas didn't want to drag Erin into it, pointing out that she's still going to have to skate with him, and ratting him out to her coach would only make her life difficult in the future. Anastasia and Lo don't believe Erin would be so messed up to do it on purpose, arguing he's just too stubborn to admit when he doesn't know what he's doing. But that's an argument for a different day. Part of the changes to Stassi's eating plan is giving her more exciting food to eat than salad and chicken. We've all taken turns teaching her different dishes, or she finds something online she likes the look of, and I adapt it to meet her macros. I don't think either of us anticipated the fear she's developed through this disordered way of eating. She can rationalize having what she calls a cheat meal to a certain extent, but understandably, changing 99% of what she eats has been highly overwhelming for her to process. I tried to plan things slowly, but she said she doesn't have time for slow, and she'll just get on with it. I know warning signs when I hear them, but she's promised to talk to her therapist about it, so there isn't more I can say. It's not that she doesn't like the food she's eating. She has this unwavering fear of gaining weight and being too heavy to lift or not fitting into her skating outfits. It's scary, practically conditioning, making me question how many times she's heard it. JJ wants to teach me how to make an authentic Indian curry. I accidentally told him I've never made one that didn't originate from a jar, and he said something about offending his ancestors. She takes her phone from her pocket, and I know she's checking her calorie app without even looking. She looks up at me for reassurance. We can make it work, right? Traditional Indian food is good for you. It's basically vegetables, spices, meat, lentils, or whatever you're putting in. Nutritionally, it's very well-rounded, I explain, emphasizing the nutritional benefits first. It's the westernized convenience version that's pumped full of crap. Somewhere along the line, the whole cuisine has been demonized. We can definitely make it work. Okay, he should be home from the gym soon. She tucks her phone away and holds out her hand to me. Let's stretch you out, my little figure skater. I groan, putting my hand in hers and letting her drag me to the living room. It's been 2 weeks of sore thighs, toe picks, and fucking ballet. 2 weeks of her proving she's a better skater than I am. 2 weeks of Brady staring at me like she's staring into my soul and learning all my secrets. Everything fucking aches. My ass, my thighs, my calves. I might be strong, but I've learned I am not supple. Lying down on the floor, I raise both of my legs. Using the weight of her body, she holds my legs against herself and leans forward, stretching my hamstrings. Me moaning with my legs in the air is always the perfect time for JJ and Henry to get home. It's hard to judge their expressions from my position on the floor, but I hear JJ laughing to himself. Me next, Stassi. Henry stands beside us, head tilted as he assesses what we're doing. Does it feel weird to be on this side of the body bending, Anastasia? She presses down a bit more, making my hamstrings scream. I love it and hate it in equal measure, but the discomfort means I don't register what Henry says until she answers him. You know what, Hen? It does feel weird. Yeah. As much as their shit is usually at my expense, I'm glad the guys keep Stas distracted enough to not obsess over Aaron. He's been blowing up her phone with apology after apology. It was a moment of anger, he said. He didn't mean to shout at her. But she's hurt, and she's questioning our judgment. Friendships are important, but so is living in a healthy environment, I overheard her say to herself when she rejected his 10th call. Everyone has progress to make. I tell her every day she can stay as long as she wants to. Selfishly, I love having her around all the time. And so do the guys. They're as on board with her staying as I am, and told me to stop being a dipshit when I offered to book the two of us into a hotel. They don't want her going back to Aaron any more than I do. After Lola gets home and inhales the food Robbie made, she and Anastasia claim that being surrounded by so much testosterone is rotting their brains, so I drop them both off at the movies for some girl time. Not to make things uncomfortable with the planner slander, but Stassi has been filling her time with unnecessary stuff. Living here has been a culture shock for her because nothing gets done when it's supposed to. I can see how uncomfortable it makes her when she feels behind, so I do my best to stick to her timeline while still reminding her that sometimes taking a change of plan is good, like an impromptu trip to watch some romance movie. Pulling into the driveway back home after dropping them off, I notice a car I don't recognize parked in my spot. My phone rings as my keys twist in the door, and when it swings open, I don't need to ask who is calling me or why. Nathaniel, my dad says curtly, it's nice to confirm you're alive. What the hell are you doing here? I blurt out. You mean in the house that I paid for, where my only son lives, or in California? The superiority in his tone has bile rising in my throat. I truly don't know how Sasha and I have been raised by someone so fucking obnoxious and not turned out like him. Visually, it's like looking in a mirror that shows your future. Same hair, same eyes, same face, basically. There's unfortunately no doubt whose son I am. But his personality, Jesus Christ, it would be like if I had Aaron's personality or something. Both? You haven't been answering my calls. You flew 1,000 miles because I've been too busy to answer your calls. Are you for real? I haven't even noticed the guys are also here until I notice them all shuffle into the den in my peripheral vision. It's always been awkward for me because all their parents are nice. Henry's moms live in Maple Hills, and even they don't drop in on us unannounced. I traveled because I have business in California. I'm here because I wanted to see you. The caring father act has always been a favorite. If you don't know him, it's almost convincing. As I said, you haven't been answering my calls. I sit on the couch, mirroring his seated position on the chair across from me. It's all suspicious. My gut is yelling at me that something is off. What business could you have in L.A.? You know it doesn't snow here, right? Don't pretend to know anything about our family's business. His facade slips. You don't mind spending family money on your tuition, or your house, or that $100,000 car you drive. You just don't like contributing anything. Leaning forward to rest my elbows on my knees, I sigh, refusing to engage in the same conversation we've been having since I graduated from high school and told him I wasn't going to study business at Colorado State. Why are you here, Dad? Your sister is unhappy. No shit. I need you to talk to her. She says she wants to quit skiing. Sasha doesn't want to quit skiing. It's the only thing she can say to him to get him to listen to her. What else is she saying? Eyebrows furrowed, his hand rubs against his jaw. Fuck, even our movements look the same. What do you mean? She didn't just come to you and say she's quitting. What is she asking for that you're ignoring? What does she want? God, I shouldn't have to teach you to parent your 16-year-old. Watch your tone, Nathaniel. Do you even listen to her? My voice gets louder, the anger bubbling in my chest. She's not a freaking racehorse. She's a little girl. She doesn't exist to win trophies for you. She has needs. You're lucky she hasn't filed for emancipation. I want him to shout back, for us to argue this out, but he just stares at me with a blank expression. She loves skiing. You know she does. She wouldn't be as good as she is if she didn't love it. But she needs breaks, Dad. She needs care and attention, and to know that how much you love her doesn't depend on how clean her runs are. She wants to go on vacation for Christmas. I knew he'd know. I wouldn't be surprised if she's been asking for months and he's ignored it. See? Easy. Take her to St. Bart's or something. Let her lie on a beach, read a book, chug a virgin pina colada or two. Without missing a beat, he ignores what I said and nods toward the stairs. There appears to be a woman living in your bedroom. Where is she? He catches me off guard, clearly his intention. His only intention, usually, as demonstrated by turning up here uninvited. When the initial shock subsides, the realization hits, and for the first time I'm glad Anastasia isn't here. How did you get into my room? Standing from the chair, he straightens his suit jacket. Because I remember my own wife's birthday. The air changes, cools, suffocates me. I don't even know. Well, you're clearly busy and don't want me here. I'm staying at the Huntington if you decide you can tolerate the man who has given you everything you've ever wanted for the length of one meal. I fly home in 2 days, and with that final, fake self-pity act, having gotten what he came here for, I watch him leave.
27. Anastasia. For something designed to make you feel better, positive affirmations fucking suck. They aren't working. I don't feel any more positive. I don't feel any more affirmed. Why do I bother? Moving behind me so his body looms over mine, Nate's hands hold my waist tightly. The heat of his fingers searing the skin of my exposed stomach. Keeping his body close to mine, his mouth finds my ear, whispering, "You ready for this, Alan?" My heart is ready to beat out of my chest. Thoughts in irreparable chaos. It's been weeks, and I don't know if I'm ready. No, I know I'm not. I don't want to. 3, 2, 1, no! Gripping his wrists, it doesn't take much to pull him off me. No, I can't. Letting me go, he allows me to skate away, shaking off the uncomfortable prickling tension at the bottom of my neck. This is getting ridiculous, and I know that. I can feel his frustration when I stop him before he lifts me. He never takes it out on me. He never says anything, but I know it's there. Nate skates off in the opposite direction, hands on his hips, catching his breath. "Nate, I'm sorry," I shout for what feels like the millionth time. He glides toward me, and I want to cave to my instincts. Let him scoop me up, carry me away, and shower me in affection. I want to wrap myself around him and let him whisper promises into my skin about how he'll never let me down. 2 hands capture my face, lightly tilting my head back. I want him to bend down and kiss me, but he won't because I've told him he can't. Another thing to be angry with myself over. Why don't you trust me? His tone is soft, which only makes this harder. Stas, I'm not going to drop you. I don't have an answer for him. Every time the anxiety swirls in the pit of my stomach, I can't breathe. We've been practicing in the gym, and I know he can pick me up, but for some reason, being out here doing it for real is just too much. I do trust you. I don't know what's wrong with me. Moving toward Brady, she's wearing her signature look of irritation. You two need to work this out. Anastasia, if you want to be a pair skater, you need to be able to work with a pair. She's saying it like that knowledge isn't my current obsession. I know, Coach. The longer you let this fear rule you, the more you suffer. Work it out, and work it out quickly. Holding back the tears, Nate and I step off the ice and put our guards on. The worst bit is, I'm having so much fun training with Nathan, and now that he's used to his skates, he's learning quickly. Even though he's here to help me, I'm weirdly proud when he nails a jump. Don't get me wrong, he's landed on his ass 100 times, each time funnier than the last. But now, if he's on the floor, he knocks my legs out from under me when I try to help him up, catching me in his lap. My love for skating has been revitalized, and he's a massive part of that. He drapes an arm across my shoulders as we walk toward the locker rooms. We're going to do it. I'll make a plan. We'll get through it together. Stopping in his tracks, I follow his eyeline to the last person I was expecting to see. Aaron, what are you doing here? Can we talk? His eyes float to Nate and his posture stiffens. Alone? Absolutely not, Nate snaps. Nathan, the last thing I need is a brawl. I don't have anything to say to you, Aaron. Don't say anything then, he says softly. Just listen, and then I'll go. Nate's arm tightens around me, and I dislike the feeling of being stuck between them. This is the longest Aaron and I haven't talked. It's not because I'm not desperate to hear him say something that helps me make sense of this. It's because I'm sick of being his verbal punching bag. Let me get changed first, I tell him. I'll meet you in the office in a couple of minutes. Anastasia, Nathan says firmly, and I can sense his anxiety, but I can't avoid Aaron forever. Squeezing the hand resting on my shoulder, I attempt to reassure him. I'll be fine, and it won't take long. Heading into the locker rooms, my mood immediately improves when I can hear a few of the younger skaters gossiping before their practice. He's so freaking hot. He's the captain of the hockey team. What a lucky bitch. They're so hooking up behind Aubrey's back. I heard he's the one who messed up Aaron. I thought she was with the basketball guy. Good. Aaron's a creep. No, I follow him, and he's always posting about a blonde girl called Olivia. They definitely are. I bet Aubrey has already guessed. I'd risk her wrath if he looked at me like that. Did you hear he had to put on shorts because of how big his Girls? I say, trying not to laugh. Coach Brady is waiting for you all. It's so quiet you'd be able to hear a pin drop. There isn't another peep out of them as they all walk past me looking horrified. Part of me is in no rush to get changed, dreading facing Aaron. The other part of me wants to get it over with. Nathan is waiting for me when I finally drag myself from the locker room. I don't like this, is the first thing he says. His hand cups my cheek softly, and I can't stop myself from leaning into its warmth. I want you to make your own choices, but please remember you don't owe him anything. Don't let him guilt you. Wait for me in the car? He nods, leaning forward, changing his mind again and leaning back, then finally committing and kissing my forehead quickly before heading toward the exit. The walk to the office feels twice as long, knowing who's waiting, but I face the music anyway, pushing the door open. Aaron's sitting at the table, his bad wrist strapped to his chest, making it look extra serious. Closing the door behind me, I take a seat opposite him, concentrating on my breathing. I've wanted to come here for weeks, he says quietly, staring at his free hand resting on the table. But I was angry at you, and it wouldn't have been good for either of us. I'm surprised my jaw doesn't hit the floor. Aaron has practically hounded me, begging me to move back home, but apparently he was angry at me? What could you possibly be angry at me about? Are you kidding me? You move out without telling me, and you move in with the guy responsible for me not being able to skate? My jaw ticks as I fight to stay calm. He says he had nothing to do with it. You'd believe anything he tells you. That's your problem, Stassi. He scoffs, looking me dead in the face. You're naive. You make out that you're Ms. Positive and you want to communicate, but it's all bullshit. You're just a liar. Is this a fever dream? There's no way I'm hearing this right. I don't know what to address first. I should walk out and never talk to him again. But unfortunately, I can't. If you are going to sit and attack me, I will leave. I'm not attacking you. I want to talk. I want to sort things out between us. How can you not hear you're attacking me? You're mad at me for moving out, but you told me to fuck off. I'm trying not to let him get under my skin, but my brain wants to scream and my heart wants to cry. I've been under-eating, Aaron. I've been at a higher risk of injury for months, and you're the one with the problem? I trusted you. You are so fucking dramatic. Why are you acting like I've been starving you? He groans loudly, looking to the ceiling, then back to me. I thought it was fine. You've never complained, and you're an adult, Anastasia. You can eat more if you're hungry. How is it my fault you don't listen to your own body? Oh, and have you remind me I have an outfit to fit into? Or have you grown when you lift me? So, I'm a bad guy because I keep you accountable? It isn't accountability, Aaron. It's obsession. You care too much about what I'm doing and whom I'm doing it with. My voice breaks and I hate it. I hate that he can tell what he's doing to me. You want to control me, and you're destroying our friendship, our partnership. When are you coming home? He says abruptly. I miss you. His change of direction gives me whiplash, and it reminds me that deep down, Aaron's lost. I can't come home until you properly understand what you've done, and I believe you will change. Standing from my seat, I sling my purse over my shoulder. I can't trust you right now, Aaron, but we're paired together whether we like it or not, so I'm going to need to be able to navigate this somehow. He nods, face blank. I know you believe anything he tells you, but why would I purposely put you at a greater risk of injury, Anastasia? Sighing, he lets his shoulder sag. If you don't believe I care about you, fine. But you know I care about myself. So why would I risk my own goals if you ended up with an injury? If this wasn't such a miserable situation, what he said might be funny. He isn't wrong. The number one thing Aaron Carlisle cares about is himself. I don't know why you do a lot of the things you do, but it doesn't mean you don't do them. I didn't like watching you skating with someone else. I do want to fix this, Stas. I promise. I believe you. But right now, your promise isn't enough. When I climbed into Nathan's car earlier, bursting with too much adrenaline, I asked him if he felt like doing something irresponsible. Throwing a party the week before finals start is my version of irresponsible, as is playing drinking games with a man a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier than me. To even our odds, Nate's drink is twice as strong as mine. Not that he's noticed. Luckily for me, the game of choice is Never Have I Ever, and it turns out Nate has spent quite a lot of his time at college gaining new experiences. Maddie clears his throat to get everyone's attention for his turn. Never have I ever accidentally called Faulkner while I was having sex. Oh, for fuck's sake, Nate mutters, lifting his drink to his lips. He doesn't bother looking at me. You don't want to know. Okay. JJ rubs his hands together. Never have I ever left the club with an older woman. Several of the guys lift their cups, stopping when JJ asks them to wait. Then found out I'd also hooked up with her daughter when I saw the family pictures on the wall the next morning. Nathan curses under his breath, shaking his head at his best friend as he lifts his cup to his mouth again. Oh my God. My jaw might as well be on the floor. Lola is cackling beside me, and Jaden looks incredibly happy with himself. It's my turn, and I can't think of anything as outrageous as the guys have, but I have one thing that I know will make him drink. Never have I ever fallen out of a ski lift. Nate snorts, lifting his cup straight away. Beside him, Robbie drinks too. You as well? I laugh when he nods, wincing as he swallows his drink. Lola made that one, so God knows how strong it is. Yeah, the little shit dragged me with him. The game continues, and naturally the guys use it as a way to air each other's indiscretions. Lola and I move away to catch up on the day's events, and after an hour of us swapping theories and basically straight up bitching about Aaron, I track Nate down. I find him in the den, totally ignoring two girls trying to talk to him. As soon as I approach, he pulls me into his lap and buries his head in my neck. Where have you been? I've missed you. With low, how can you miss me? You see me every day. Not bothering to answer my question, I feel him nibble my ear. I can't remember why I'm not allowed to kiss you anymore, but I really want to. He's so drunk his words are slurring, but I can't remember either. You're so pretty, Stassi. Spinning in his lap to face him, his groan lets me know that wasn't the best decision. He places his hand on my face and pouts. We do sex so well. Come on, I'll remind you. I'm taking him to bed, but it's certainly not going to be for that. Come on, drunk boy. It's like trying to control a very rowdy toddler as I navigate him up the stairs. Crashing into his room, Nathan instantly strips off, throwing his clothes around haphazardly. While I'm picking up his clothes, I hear the shower start, and moments later, a very loud, off-key rendition of Last Christmas echoes over the sound of running water. He appears minutes later, smelling strongly of honey and strawberry, so I know he's used my shampoo. The towel is hanging loosely from his hips, droplets of water running down his solid chest. Jesus Christ. Not caring that he's dripping wet, he stomps across the room, stopping in front of me. Want to do the no-pants dance with me? No, I want you to get into bed and go to sleep. He looks genuinely shocked. Why not? Pushing him to the bed, he flops down, not landing anywhere that even resembles a normal sleeping position. Why do you think? Thinking on it, the realization kicks in. You're drunk and I'm sober, so that means, he sings, making an X with his arms, no naked sleepover. Not fully accurate, but the important parts are right. Bingo. Lie properly, please. Ignoring me, he yawns and closes his eyes. Drunk people can't give consent, Stas. That's right, bub. I pant, lifting his alarmingly heavy legs to try to maneuver him. Nate, can you Okay, you're asleep. Great. Lo's nose scrunches when I rejoin her downstairs. Why do you look so sweaty? Nathan's drunk and heavy. Have you realized you're falling in love with him yet? I've known him 2 minutes, lols. I'm not falling in love. We're not even dating, I say back, looking over my shoulder to make sure nobody is around listening. It's been nearly 3 months, and you've lived together for nearly one of them. I think that sorta makes the dating thing redundant. It's been an hour of Lola giving me shit and making wedding suggestions, and she suddenly squeaks, making me jump. I forgot to tell you because I was rushing. Aaron is hooking up with Kitty Vincent. I feel like one of those cartoon characters when their eyes spring out of their head. Say you're joking right now. I would never joke about something so horrific. I saw it with my own eyes. Unrelated, but when you move home, we need to burn the couch. Rosie is still the sweetest, but Kitty is worse. So much worse. Kitty was our friend freshman year, and we were getting to know Rosie, her roommate, too. Rosie is the daughter of Simone, my boss, and it was Rosie who recommended me for the job. As Lola said, Rosie was sweet, but Kitty was a nasty, conceited bitch, and that's not something I call another woman lightly. Scientists should study their friendship, because it's been 2 years and I still don't understand it. Annoyingly, they live in our building, so we see them sometimes, and we can't get to know Rosie better and avoid Kitty because they're inseparable. Before I can process the information thrown at me by Lo, cheers erupt around us. Lola's eyes widen, and her hand flies to her mouth as she does what can only be described as a scoff-snort hybrid. Turning to search out the source of the chaos, I immediately spot Nathan pushing through the crowd in his boxers. His friends appear from the den, also searching for the cause of the noise, and all reach for their phones. Nate is stomping across the room with purpose, and I wish he were headed toward his friends. I really, really wish he was going to them. But he doesn't. He stops right in front of me, lip pouting with sleepy, half-lidded eyes. You weren't there when I woke up. Oh, my God, where are your clothes? Come back to bed, he whines, loud enough for other people to hear. No funny business. Just cuddle with me. This is gold, Lola says behind me, and when I look over my shoulder, she has her phone out too. The guys are all watching, and several are bent over, laughing. One of them looks like they're hyperventilating. Reluctantly, letting Nathan drag me toward the stairs, I shoot them all the evils. Thanks for your help, guys. But you're doing such a good job, Robbie shouts back. When we reach his room, Nate flops onto the bed, and I can see that he has decided to demolish our pillow barricade. He's already snoring when I'm ready to crawl in beside him, but he still senses me there and pulls me closer to him. After 3 weeks of pillow separation, being flush against him feels so freaking good. I don't bother fighting to keep my eyes open.